Okay, as I mentioned from beginning of the class, so we will have 3 quizzes together because this subject do not have the final exam. So your evaluation will based on the quiz. Okay, so quiz 1, we will carry out the quiz 1 next Tuesday, the same time, using the class time as well. So I will use the online platform as well, using Google way of evaluations. Okay. After that, I will share, after the question ready, then I will share the links when everyone already joined the class for next Tuesday. Okay. So we will cover chapter 1, 2, 3, including the chapter that we're going to have a look for today. Okay. All right. So it's quite simple question. All right. So if you read your notes, then you will be able to answer those questions. Okay. All right. So for second announcements is this Thursday. Did you go and observe your plants? So how is it? Already grow up? Just drop by. How the update of your plant? All healthy or not, your plants? The seedling plant. So far, so good?
So far, so good.
So far, so good. Okay, all right. So this Thursday, we will do the transplanting of the plant. Okay, I saw it is quite, got some true leaf coming out from the seedling. Okay, so it's suitable for us to do transplant already. Okay, all right. So before this Thursday, so please have a look and read some topics related with seedling transplanting, okay, in your unit 5, seedling transplanting. So this one, so just go through it and then understand what you need to do before you come to the practical class. Okay, all right. And then one more thing is regarding your lab report. Okay, as I know that since everyone have to submit the report, what I will do is based on this manual, okay, this practical manual, all right, what you need to do is you have soft copy in words, right? So inside there got some activities that you need to fill in. Okay, so I want you to fill in those activities, okay, after you complete the whole topics, all right, and then you submit this manual, which already have the answer, everything, by email me. You no need to print it out, okay, and no need to rewrite any report, just complete the activities will do. All right, is it clear? Okay. All right.
Yeah,
Good.
Doctor.
Good. Okay. Okay. All right. Yeah. So you can email me by week 14. After week 14, whoever did not submit this report, they will not get any marks on the practical report. Okay. All right. All right. So, any question regarding the quiz and our coming Thursday practical before we start our lecture? Anyone not clear which part you want to ask the question? So far, okay? So far, so good? Okay. All right. All right. Let me wait. What is the format of the quiz? Okay, the format of the quiz have some fill in the blank and also maybe like objective, something like that. Is straightforward question. Okay. Okay, can you see the slide? Wait. Okay, can you see chapter 3? Agroecological system.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, all right. So today we will have a look on some factor which affect the ecosystem in the environment of agriculture. So as we know that when we start some activities of agriculture, many factor affect, for example, like the weather and so on. Okay, so this is the 4 elements of agroecological system which affect the food productions. All right, so the first one will be the climate. As we know that climate play important roles in productions. Let's say every day raining, some of the plant may not happy to have raining every day or flood. Okay, or how every day no rain, very drought season in between the rain and so on. And then different locations or different temperate area also is depends on different types of crops. Certain crops they need more water, certain crops they need very little water. Okay, so that is depends on the climate. Second factor is water. As we know, water play important roles in any living things. Okay, so without water, no survivor. Cannot human or any, right? The third one is soil. Soil play important role as well. Okay, but however, they got certain plants that they can grow in the soilless conditions. Okay, and the fourth factor is the human resources. Without human, all those activity cannot be carried out. That means human will start everything. Okay, so this is the 4 factor for food productions. Okay, climate. So far we have 4 regions in this world. So different locations, they had different weather, different temperate, different the temperature and so on. Okay, the first one will be tropic. Those tropic, they be high temperature. Okay, very high, a lots of rainfall. Okay, many agricultural activity can be carried out at that location. So examples of crop like rubber, oil palm, cocoa, coconut, sugarcane. Okay, so these types of plant they are suitable at the tropic country. For example, like Malaysia. Okay, so we have whole days, a whole years hot and raining season. Okay, so this picture showing, okay, this is a raining forest, this is a rubber plantations, and this is the coconut. Okay, so from here you can see they are happily to grow, okay, under hot sun. And also the second one is the temperate. So this is a 4 season. Okay, so for our country, we do not have 4 season. We only got 2 season, raining and hot sun. Or maybe we have flood as well. Okay, so 4 season, the weather not extreme but changeable. Okay, so they will change every 3 months. So the crop planted in the spring and then harvested in summer. Okay, so have, for example, like maize or wheat. The vegetable continually grow. Certain country, they can grow the vegetables inside the glass house. For example, certain area in China, okay, they dig the glass house under the ground and then they do a glass house. So inside there, during the winter, they can grow many type of vegetable continuously. Okay, and the livestock farming most suitable during that area as well. A large cattle rearing for milk and beef perform best in the temperate region. So you can see like milk production cattle, okay, dairy production come from different country like Australia, New Zealand, UK, okay, Holland and so on. Okay, so you can see that our country don't have such a lot of milk productions as compared with the meat and so on. Okay, so this is the scenery of the temperate autumn in the farm. So it's very nice, beautiful, and the dairy cattle perform best in the temperate region. Okay, so this is the if you drink milk from Dutch lady, so you will see this kind of dairy cattle. Okay. The third one is the tundra or rest treeless land. So this is very low temperature, below zero. Okay, they are long, cold, dark winter. So they have 6 to 10 months of winter. So they don't like us. They are happy to have a sun. Okay, so they have very little water and sunshine only. Okay, short growing season. That means during the year, they only have 6 to 10 weeks season time for planting. So it's very short. It's 10 weeks, about 2 months plus only, the maximum. So when they come over here, they are so happy to see big tree growing well in this country. Okay, dominant vegetations like grasses, they only got the grasses, mosses, and lichen, the small grasses only. They don't have the tall tree like us. So the crop livestock hardly grow. So because the animal also difficult, like chicken, everything is quite difficult to grow at that area. Okay, they only have a restricted enclosed and also water supply. Even though they are very, how to say, it's very cold, but supply water also very limited. Okay, so there are three types of tundra: Arctic, Antarctic, and also Arfin. So this area normally have very little activities of agriculture. So this is the map showing, okay, the scenario of the Greenland. So the whole year, okay, they just have ice, birds, and also and many like animals also, they have a very thick feather and so on. Okay, and this is the small grasses. Okay, only small, cannot grow well big tree like us. And this one also, this is the mountain, top mountain in US. Okay,
Doctor,
yes.
sorry to interrupt, but the slide
Ah, ah.
is not changing.
The slide is not changing. Hold on.
Yeah.
Now, wait. Okay, now the sorry, the slide is not changing. Which slide you are right now?
Temperate.
Oh, temperate. Okay, temperate. Okay. Can you see this slide?
Yes, doctor.
The dairy cattle?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Okay, so this picture showing the dairy cattle perform well at the temperate region. Okay, so this is the photo that usually we see in the Dutch lady and so on, the milk, advertise the milk and so on. Okay, so this one can see the climate. Can see
Yes.
the climate. Okay,
Yes.
then I make it. Okay, is it okay? Can see or not?
Yes.
Can.
Okay, all right.
Can.
So for treeless land, okay, so they have very low temperature, okay, below zero, okay, and they have a long dark winter, 9 to 10 months. Hold on, got someone. Okay. Okay, all right. So they have very little water and sunshine. Okay, the short growing season. They have very short growing season. It's only 6 to 10 weeks, about 2 months plus. All right. So we are considered very lucky because we have the whole year we can do planting. Okay. So the dominant vegetation during at that location at that climate is only grasses, the small mosses and also lichen. So small grasses only. Okay, so the crop or livestock hardly grow. Like for example, if chicken or duck also, they can't grow well at that area. Okay, and only restricted enclosure of the water supply. Okay, so three area of tundra is Arctic, Antarctic, and also Afin. Okay, so this photo, okay, you can see here. So this is the map showing where is the locations of tundra. Okay, so we can see this is the ice, all right, and the very huge space, and then all the small tree only. It's not the big tree that we have here. Okay, so here also the small grasses. Okay, and this is empty. It's not like big jungle like our country or any parts of like Indonesia's or islands. Okay, so number 4 is desert. So desert has very little or precipitations of water. It's less than 250 millimeter. So it's very little per annum, per year. Okay, so the temperature very high in a day. That means in the morning, the temperature can be up to 40 or 40 plus, but at night they are very low. That means they like extremely. So the agriculture only possible with sufficient irrigation system. They can only running some operations of crop planting if they have a supplies of irrigations or water supply. Without, they cannot depend on the natural rainfall. Okay, so you can see here is a hot, dry area. All right, so all the red color is even the tree also no leaf. Okay. All right, the second factor is the water. As we know, water play very important in all living thing. In our cell, we need water for cell to survive. Same as all the plants, animals, human, and so on. So agriculture activity depends on the rainfall or rain feed or irrigation system. All right. So human will stay. If you notice the civilizations of the human, tamadun, whatever tamadun or manusia, so they will depends on the river. That means they will stay along the river bank. Okay, so in order for them to survive. So the southern peninsula Malaysia, so in this area we have about more than 3,000 millimeter per year. So this is very suitable for oil palm cultivations. All right. And like Kedah Perlis region, they have about 2,000 millimeter, more suitable for rubber and mango. I mean, different crop, they need different, right? So for example, like oil palm, when you start planting oil palm, starting from nursery, for the first 8 months of planting, that period is very critical. That means they need a lot of water. If let's say the supplies of water during first 8 months is not enough, they will cause the developments of the tree. Okay, so if they have enough water, so the development will be well, and then when they go to the immature stage, so the flowering will be faster and they will have a fruits very fast. Okay, so it depends on the water supply. All right, and certain like sugar cane. Okay, sugar cane they need some water as well, but then not much. If let's say you supply a lot of water, somehow the sugar cane will become tasteless. It's not as sweet as we want. Okay, so it depends. Different crop they may need more water. Certain crop they may need a little bit of water. Okay, and for rice or paddy, they need a very good irrigation system. Okay, so rice we got two types of rice. One is the normal rice that we have, and another type is the you call as a padi huma. So that one HUMA. So that one we can have. They will grow it at the hillside. They need less water as compared normal rice that we have. Okay. All right, so this is example agriculture irrigation canal in the Kedah. So you can see whatever sawah padi that you go, you will see a lot of canal. So they need supplies of water. Okay. All right. So the third factor is the soil. So the soil is important for soil nutrient cycle. Okay, soil, inside the soil, as we know, we got many types of nutrient. Okay, naturally. Even though if you did not put any fertilizer into the soil, they have the nutrient that actually is enough for the plant. All right, they have nitrate, they have ammonium, they have potassium, they have phosphate. All right, so this is a natural occur nutrient inside. However, certain of the nutrient is locked within the soil. That's why cause the plant cannot absorb efficiently. All right, so you need sometime certain beneficial microbe to release those nutrient and make it unlocked and available to the plant. Okay, so that is the how to say the cycles or natural occurrence of the nutrient cycle. All right, so nutrient elements and water taken by the plant. So the root play important roles to absorb all those nutrients. Okay, and then this is a cycle. H2O will be evaporate through the transpiration, and then the rain will coming down. All right, and all the organic matter accumulate and then absorbed by the plant. So this is the cycle, rotate, rotate, and rotate. So after this plant die, so they will leave all the dead wood and become organic back to the soil. Okay, so this is a one cycle. So types of soil. So they can type of soil. They got many type of soil actually can be based on the factor of soil formation. So that means, for example, we have different types of parent material. What material form that soil? Okay, and depends on the climate. How the climate, if let's say in the tropic area, how is it? At the desert area, how is it? So it depends on the weather as well. The topography mean the level of the soil at which level from the seaside, either at the lowland or highland. Okay, vegetation, so what types of the crop that you planted before, and also the time, how long is it, a few million years ago or a few thousand years ago, and so on. Okay, number two is based on the profile. So inside the soil we got different profile. Okay, it's not, let's say when you cut the soil, okay, straight away you will see a different color of the profile, okay, from the top to the bottom. All right, so that's why they got a series of the soil. Let's, for example, like they call as a Siri Malacca. That Malacca soil is different from Siri Selangor soil. So it's totally different. That means the location also affect the profile of the soil. Okay, physical and chemical composition. So inside there, how the chemical composition in that soil and how the physically, either they are rough or smooth and so on. Okay, so this is a type of the soil. Okay, so soil formation based on the topography. For example, you can see this picture. Okay, so the location from A, B, C, D, E, F. All right, so this is the sea level. All right, so for location A, all right, this is soil, the type of the soil at location A is mainly acid sulfate soil. Okay, so this is normally along the coastline, that means at the sea level. Okay, at the location slightly higher, okay, so normally we have a peak soil. Okay, location C, a bit higher, okay, coastal alluvium soil. All right, and then location D, rapidly weathering soil, deep and red. So already higher than C. Okay, and then E, easily eroded, shallow soil. So this is more lack of vegetation. That means when you go higher, there is less tree coming out. That means when the weather increase, and sorry, the weather decrease. Okay, so the type of the soil also becomes smaller. And then location F, cool highland soil. So this is the top hill. Okay, so you can see the profile of the soil also different. Okay, so they got different level. Okay, all right. So for factor number 4 is the human resources. Okay, agriculture cannot operate without workforce from human. Starting from, let's say you want to do some activities, you have to plow the soil. Okay, you have to plant it, the soil, plant the plant seedling. Okay, then after that harvesting, watering, harvesting, and then process and so on. So you cannot run away from human resources. So scientists who conduct research from productions levels to processing and marketing. So you also need scientists in order to increase the breed, okay, the clone and so on. Then after that, process the product and then marketing, also human. Teaching institutions of agriculture to produce graduate in numerous fields. So teaching also become important role on how to handling, okay, if you want to do some productions or plantation. So the teacher teach you how to do this, how to do that. Okay, so also involve human resources and also supporting specialists like extension specialists to pass the knowledge to the operator in the field, marketing specialists, and also economics. Okay, so extension specialist is the something like some sort like an agent between the knowledge operator to the farmer. All right, so let's say for example from the like Mardi for example, so they develop certain technology, all right, and then they want to pass that technology to the farmer. So this extension specialist will play a role to connect the knowledge or transfer knowledge to the farmer. So they have an agent or in between the researcher and also the farmer, the end user. Okay, agriculture also involved as a human labor. Okay, you also involve the labor, as we know that now many young generations they don't like agriculture because it's hot sun, under hot sun, and so on. So human labor from, let's say, foreign country, they will come over here and replace our local labor. Okay, so that also involve the human labor. So they need to do like land preparation, planting, harvesting, and so on. All right, and the skill operator and also the foreign labor as mentioned earlier. Okay, so this is the scientist, agriculture scientist that she's doing on the breedings of certain new breed in the lab. So this researcher needs to pass the knowledge to the farmer. And this is the agriculture lecturer. So they teach the student, okay, how to prepare this, how to prepare that. Okay, so this is the knowledge that they pass from the teacher to the student. Okay, and this is the agricultural extension. So they go to the one area, okay, and then pass the knowledge to the farmer. So teach the farmer, okay, let's say for example, if your plant got this symptom, so what disease is that? Or if your disease or if your plant, the leaf become yellowish and so on. So what is the effects of that and so on? What cause either the nutrient is not enough or you need to add more water and so on. Okay, all right. So this is the labor. As usual, we can see, okay, one person cannot handle everything. So you need someone to do the work routine for you. So this is how the labor comes. Okay. And for this one also they need a skilled worker. Let's say certain thing you need a very skilled worker. Let's say how to pluck the tree, how to do grafting. You know, it's not simply people can do. You have to learn. You have to have a skill and experience to do that. So you need a skilled worker, and also the foreign labor. So they helping and all the farm to run the operation and so on. Okay. All right. So that is four factor that affect the agriculture plantation. Okay, climate, water, soil, and human resources. All right. So what will happen? The impact of the climatic changes. Okay, as we know, everyone talking about global warming. Okay, so you need to know if you run one activities, you do some agricultures, whatever, if you overuse the pesticide or chemical, so what will be the cost on it? Okay, you can see that impact climate change nowadays. Okay, if back 20, 30 years ago, the room temperature is about 26, 27. You're talking about room temperature, people will mention, oh, it's about 26, 27. But then nowadays, you try to measure what is the room temperature. It's slightly higher. Okay, so this is caused by the global warming. Okay, what is the cause actually? So it's from the industrial and transportation release some greenhouse gases like CO2, nitrogen oxide, methane. So these gas, they will trap the heat, okay, and then cause the warming of the whole global. Okay, so that is the reason. So what is the effect? They will affect the world temperature increase and then become unstable. Okay, and then they cause the polar ice melted and the sea level will increase. If you notice nowadays, flood is not like seasoning anymore. If you notice last time, back to 10 or 15 years ago, for example, you'll see like end of the year in Kelantan, Terengganu area, they will have flood during November or December. But nowadays, flood can be anytime. Okay, just happen like February, March, a flood in Kelantan, Terengganu. So it's something like weird, but then this due to the changes of the climate. So they become unstable, not stable. You cannot predict anymore what will happen next. Okay, and recently I heard news that in Kuala Krai, that side, and some area in Sabah, they got snow also, a little bit of snow. So you can see maybe one day Malaysia will have snow and maybe will change become a temperate country. Who knows? That is, unpredictable. All right. All right, so you can see here the gases, all the CO2, all the toxic gases come out from the factory. Okay, and then the car, vehicle, and all this will trap the heat and then cause the world or the globe become hot. Okay, and the hot and then unstable. We cannot predict all the climate or changes of the weather anymore. Okay, and you can see effects of the global warming. Okay, so meltings of polar ice, and then when the ice melted, so they will increase the sea level, the water increase very fast. So you can see if you go, it's raining for about 2 hours, 3 hours. Okay, so the place with very low near to the river bend, they will flood very quickly as compared to last time. All right. Okay, second impact is there's certifications that mean caused by the expansions of desert area due to climatic changes or mismanagement. Okay, so that means many area when people do planting, they chop down all the tree. Okay, the jungle no more tree. All right, and then they are no longer replanting all those trees, so the mountain, the hill become empty. All right, so this will cause the available of the land also may reduce because they chop down all the tree and then they use for development, build the housing area. So it's not enough land for agriculture anymore. So many people who stay in condominium, they want to plant, they have to do the urban agriculture. That is the only way how they running. They cannot afford to have a land, cannot afford to have a place to plant the oil palm and so on. Just only a small place in the pot, okay, that is lacking of area for planting. Okay, you can see here mismanagements of agriculture. Okay, that means overgrazing of dry land in Chile. Okay, it's very empty land and also less land area for agriculture, so it's all dry, not enough water. This kind of soil, this kind of land, you cannot grow anything, all dry, not enough nutrient as well. Okay, pollution. Okay, pollution also one of the factor. All right, if you use a lot of chemical, okay, for example, chemical or any fertilizer into the soil. Okay, so they will cause some pollution. Extensive commercial agriculture activities will create polluting byproduct. All right, so if you running some fertilizer factory, okay, so they will produce certain side waste, whatever, like sulfur dioxide or nitrium oxide. So this will release into the atmosphere and this will cause acid rain. Okay, so the pH very low. The impact on the forest, fresh water and soil. So they will kill off all the living thing and also affect the crop and animal production. All right, so this is very dangerous because you cannot run away from this. If let's say you have a lot of all these gases in your environment, so when you inhale, it's also toxic for your body. Okay. The heavy metal. So the area of intensive industrial and with automobile, they also produce like zinc, okay, copper and lead. So all these also very dangerous to human being and also animal or living thing. So this zinc, copper, and lead, they can easily, okay, transport inside our body and then available to the plant and animal. So if let's say you accidentally eat, you may have some contaminations or some poisonous inside your body. Okay, continue use of fertilizer that contain cadmium contained in the phosphate rock will pollute the soil and render the crop toxic. Okay, some of the fertilizer, especially chemical fertilizer, they add with the cadmium. So this cadmium is very dangerous. Imagine if you apply to the soil. Okay, the soil, the fruit. So the fruit in the market and you will buy and then you eat. Indirectly, all those will enter your body. Okay, slowly will cause many disease like tumor, cancer, and so on. So that is the cause that you did not see in a short time, but then after a while you can see why these people always got a problem with the maybe on the skin, okay, or may have a tumor and also anything that can happen. Okay, and beside that, let's say you use excessive chemical pesticides. They have a lot of chemical that dangerous to human being and also environment. What happened? Okay, for example, if you spray the pesticide on the plant, okay, so the crop will have no caterpillar, okay, very clean, very nice, look very beautiful, the leaf, big leaf and so on. Okay, what will happen? All the pesticide residue is inside the fruits, the vegetables, and so on. So if you buy and did not clean it properly, then you will eat into your body. Okay, then for long run, they will cause some reaction inside your body, maybe tumor or cancer and so on. Okay, so that is the negative impacts of chemical pesticide. Okay, if you go to Cameron Highland, for example, okay, so the farmer usually have their own plot behind their house. So those they do not use any chemical that in front that a big plot that they use for sell to people, then they will spray with all the pesticide, because if the veggie is not nice, that means eaten by the worm and so on, people don't want to buy, so the sale will drop. So they must make sure that the leaf, the veggie is good, okay, the salad is nice, then they will have a good price. Okay, so be careful. Okay, when you buy something, you can, in order to clean it properly, maybe you soak in a salt water. Okay, buy salt water and then soak it about half an hour to 1 hour. Okay, then only you cook it. That is the best way. Okay, even though we cannot clean it 100%, but then you still can, discard certain of the chemical from your food. Okay, all right. So excessive chemical fertilizer, same to fertilizer as well. So the normal fertilizer that they use chemical, they have a high level of nitrate. Okay, so this nitrate from the soil and from the water. So what will happen when rain come? Okay, so they will fall down, and then this nitrate, excessive nitrate, will flow into the river or any source of the water. All right, and then they will encourage the algae to grow on top, because it's a nitrate protein base. So they will less oxygen inside the water. So they will have less aquatic animal living inside there, because the river already covered by the algae, okay, full of algae. The oxygen supply become lesser and lesser, and all the aquatic animal will die. So this will affect the natural ecosystem inside the water. Okay, so this is the very bad impact to human. That's why nowadays government encourage to use the bio-based pesticide or bio-based fertilizer. Okay, as you know, I think many of us using bio fertilizer. That means they use some of the good microbes, okay, and then they combine and then become fertilizer. All these good bacteria, okay, so they can feed natural nitrogen, helping to unlock the nutrient inside the soil and then let the plant absorb. So indirectly, they will make the soil more healthy, and then they can against certain disease indirectly. That means increase the immune system for the plant as well. So, and return all the organic compound that lost during using of the chemical previously, and then return to balance up the environment. So slowly people will try to reduce the chemical pesticide or fertilizer. So they are go for bio or green environment, green, how to say, green pesticide, bio-based pesticide, or bio fertilizer, all these things. So bio based on the good bacteria and so on. So they will enhance good bacteria inside the soil, make the soil healthy, and then make the soil soften and so on. Okay, so this is the one way to encourage people more bio than chemical. All right, so as you know that many things happen. Let's say I give you example. If you know, like oil palm always facing the problem with ganoderma. Okay, beginning of the day when they start planting oil palm, they don't have this kind of problem due to the applications of chemical fertilizer inside the plantation frequent every year. after third seasons of planting. That means one season finish, second season finish, then for the third season, they will have this kind of ganoderma problem because the soil already, how to say, the organic material already lacking, good bacteria die, and then the chemical fertilizer will cause and trigger some bad bacteria or bad pathogen to attack the plant. Okay, so this is the study that they have previously. So they in order to recover back, so they put bio fertilizer, more fertilizer bio based inside in order to recover back all the lacking. So hopefully after a while, so this will back to normal and then the ecosystem will be balanced out. Okay, so this is how they did. But as you know, chemical work very fast. Okay, but bio is very slow, but takes some time. But you can see the long run, but the impact is take some time as compared to chemical. But certain farmer, they need chemical because they say, oh, they can see the result. The next day they can see the result. Yes, of course. But then what is the impact to human and ecosystem? Okay, that is the important point for everyone to think about. Okay, all right. Okay, all right. So basically for this topic, okay, so we know the ecosystem. All right, so basically ecosystem have a few factor that we already have a look, and then the negative usage of all those chemical, how impact to environment. So beside you all learning as a subject that you have to know, because this also involve your daily life. That means you eat, okay, you do everything, so involve everything. So you at least you know, okay, when you go to market, when your moms buy some fruits or whatever, please clean it, wash it properly. The best is soak in the salt garam, okay, for half an hour, so at least they can clean certain particles or certain residue out. That means is better than you did not do anything. Okay, all right. Okay, so far, do you have any question for this topic? So far, so good.
So
Any
far, so
question?
good.
So far, so good. Okay, all right. Yes, so far, so good. Oh, okay, all right. So clear, yeah, for this topic. Okay.